Hey, it's Trace again. Welcome back to the garage. I got a cool project I'm working on today. I do a lot of work. I have a lot of stuff comes to me that a lot of dealers they really don't even want to deal with it. It's older and that, and in a lot of cases, in the dealers they don't really know how to work on this stuff. They haven't really seen it that much, that right? So, I've been fooling around with this stuff for 40 years, so it gives me the unique opportunity to get to work on some things that I don't see very often, and because a lot of it's not very exciting. But I got something. I got something really cool that I want to show you. He brought this bike over to me. It hasn't ran for a couple of years, and it needs to get it going. So I'm going to take it apart, and I'll show some of that along the way as well as we do it. But I want to show you this. Check this out. This is a 1986 Honda 250 Big Red. You don't really see many of these anymore. There's no way I'm not going to be able to stop geeking out over this for a little bit and talking about it as I work on it. This particular one is in absolutely unbelievable condition, and it's actually very rare to see it right now. And as I get into it, I'll explain that. But what a cool old trike, and it brings me back a long ways to when I was younger. And I can't wait to show it to you. And we're going to get it going and get the thing running. And it's a great opportunity to see an old classic. All right, before I get started taking it apart, I just want to walk around and show you. This is what an unbelievable survivor this thing is. I mean, the rubber, just check out the wheels and the tires on it. Look, this is all original. When you walk around and look at this, it's got all the original stickers on it. He added windshield, which is a nice touch, really. It's all in really good shape. The suspension that works on it. It had one little bit of damage that someone repaired quite a while ago, but that's not bad considering for these here. And it's an 86. You can tell it's got the gray seat and that on it. And if you check out the tank and the paint and everything, I mean, this thing is in unbelievable condition. And it's really, for the amount of time that he's had it, it's always been stored indoors and it's been very well looked after. So I can't wait to get the thing going for him and get it running again. Something really cool. The battery's in the back of it, and there's two big nuts that screw down inside of here. But check this out. So this is how it actually works. You pull it back, and then you can get your battery inside. Quick as that. It's pretty cool. You don't see it on any anymore, but I thought I'd show. Okay, automatically. This had gas in it for 2 years, so we're definitely gonna have to take the gas and we're throwing that away. And I'm going to take the carb off and clean it as well, because most likely it's not in very good shape after sitting with all gas in it for 2 years. All right, last thing I got to do here is I got to get this off. And as you can tell, well, I got a leak in here already, so there's something going on with that. Why that gas smells terrible. Because this is in such hard shape, it's gone hard as rock. I'm not even going to worry about it because there's no way it's going back on. Oh, take it out of the slots. There you go. One bolt. This one, when I clean the carb, I'll take that and I'll put all new lines on it as well. It looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take this off here, and most of this comes off from the right side of the bike. There's two screws, one that holds on the air filter here, a clamp, another one onto the engine. And the other thing we're going to have to do is get rid of this. There's one vent line here. You can just pop that off and get it out of the way. The other thing I do is just these here, they run down through this side. So I just try to take that stuff and get it out of the way. I put a little tie strap in it so it's not my way all the time working on it. So I'm going to loosen these two things now, and then I'm going to rotate this so I can get these two screws. I take this off, and then I'll disconnect the throttle cable. All right, I got them. All right, there we go. So now I'll be able to take the side cover off of this. Clip on the bottom. And you can see in here, now you can see the throttle cable come down. This is pretty easy. All you got to do with this is loosen it off, pop it out. You can see here, really, this hasn't been worked on because the bolts and that really haven't been touched. So that's a really good sign, but it's pretty dirty. This was laid up for 2 years and it wasn't going. Let me show you something. That's what your gas looks like in 2 years. You can get away with it. Gasoline will last for 6 months, no problem. And in most cases, it'll even go for a year. But once it starts exceeding a year, then it starts to gel, and that's quite a ways before it crystallizes. So What I'm going to do, let's go in. We're going to have a bowl because we're going to take out everything in here and clean it up. So it's not terrible, but if you can see in here, this is a bunch of crud and stuff that's in it. And you can tell it's actually, you know, the fuel is kind of stained everything in there, but it's probably not too bad. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start to, I'm going to take everything out of it. We'll take the floats, we'll take all the jets out of it, we'll clean everything individually, and then we'll put it back together, and it should be just like new. I'm going to take everything apart in it now. So most of this stuff, you got to be careful. Put it in somewhere aside when you're doing it. It's not that complicated, really. Your floats are only just, that's it. You pull the pin out, take your floats. Make sure you're keeping an eye on where everything goes as it comes in. A good idea is to take a picture of this when you do it. This one. And a 7mm wrench. Okay, and that one's there. You can see the little holes, the slots in it, and if you hold it up to the light, some of them actually get blocked. So they're the ones you got to keep an eye on when you're doing it. We got one here. Okay, and that one here is the same thing. We're going to make sure everything's nice and clear enough before it goes back in. The last one I'm going to take out is this to make sure it's clear. The only thing about this, if you don't have the setting, and I always do this, is you need to screw this in and find out what the setting is on it right now. So, all right, look at that. Well, we definitely got a bit of corrosion building up and around. You can see the dirt, you can see it in here too as it came out. There's also, there's a spring in here. So when you take that apart, don't lose it. And a lot of times there's also a little washer in this. Where am I? Oh, here you go. You can see a little bit of corrosion developing that on it now. So there's just a lot of dirt in it. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything looks actually pretty good on it. Okay. All right, there you go. There's our throttle in here. You can see our needle there as it comes out. So this feels pretty good, but what I'll do is I'll spray it all out and clean it, but I don't really see the need to take it apart. There's really nothing that bad in there. So I'll get it all clean, soaked up, and the next thing we'll do is we'll put it all back together and move on to our next step. I was going through cleaning this and doing it, and this was the middle jet I took out. And this thing wouldn't start when he took it out at the first of the year, and it's been laid up. But this is where the problem, and this is usually where the problem is in that middle one. Because he was blocked off. You can see the holes in the side, but it's a very small diameter. So all I do with it is I take a little piece of wire, and this is just out of a wire brush. And if you go and you move it in through there, you can get it moving. And I got it out, so I know now, looking at it, as soon as I found it, that was our issue right there. So I'm going to clean up the rest of it, get it nice and tidy, but I'm pretty convinced that once we get it all back together, this thing's not going to have no problem going. Okay, I got it in there. You can see I got the clamps all tightened up, and all the vent lines and that are on, and everything looks pretty good there right now. I had a small leak in this, so before I put it back together, I took apart the petcock on this, and I want to show you something. Just look at this. Look inside that. You see that? And this one here as well. This is a state. And it's not really, it's rust. This here is paint. It probably came off the inside of it. So, you know, if you're going at this job, you got to get in here and have a look at it, because this is just going to start causing trouble. I'm just going to clean this all up, screw the cover back on like this, and we'll stick it back on the bike. Okay, I got it back together here. I got a tank on it. If anybody here is actually doing this job along with me and doing this, well, congratulations. You just found out that this is not always as easy as it appears. This is a bit of a gong show, actually, because once it gets 40 years old, the rubber is hard, and all the lines start breaking on it, and anybody says it's easy, they haven't done it. So if you did it and you got away with it, congratulations. It's a good job, because not everybody can pull it off. So what we're going to do, let's put some gas in it, and let's see if it actually works. All right, I got everything back together. Tanks on, seats on. I put a drop of gas in. I put new fuel lines on so I can see it's full. I let it sit for a minute or two to make sure it wasn't leaking. So this is honest. We're gonna see now. It's been 2 years, so we're gonna try. We put the choke on. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. No joke. That's the first time it's been going for 2 years. You gotta have patience when you do this stuff. You take it apart, get it all cleaned up, find the dirt in it. And in this case here, you can see there's not much to it. She sounds really, really good. I'm gonna have to change the oil in it, but I'm gonna do that in another video. So just give me a minute and I'll just clue this up. So that's the end of this job. That was true. That actually went like that, right? You know, I know I got on a bit like a schoolgirl, but I've been at this for 40 years and everybody knows this. I mean, there still comes a point where sometimes it works really, really well. And, you know, it makes you want to giggle like a schoolgirl, generally when I'm by myself. So, it was a good job. It works like a charm. The owner's going to be really happy with the thing right now when he gets it back. And I appreciate you hanging out with me. I got some more stuff coming on the way. If you get a chance to subscribe, I'd certainly appreciate it. And keep an eye out for the next video.